In this unit, we're going to talk about performance management. Performance management can refer to evaluating the performance of individual employees within your organization. That's important, and we're going to talk about that a little bit, but we're going to focus on the performance of the enterprise as a whole. How do we know that we're doing a good job? How do we know we're solving the social or environmental problem that we've set out to address? One way we can think about this issue is to consider three concepts: value, support, and capacity. Value is asking, fundamentally, if the social venture is creating value. Are we making an impact? Are we helping victims of domestic violence? Are we teaching children to eat healthier? Now, those might be the problems we're trying to solve, but how do we know if we're solving them? We really want to get into this and determine how those aspects are being measured. So if we want to teach children to eat healthier, how will we know they're eating healthier? And how can we put that into quantifiable form? Will we ask them to take a test? Will we observe their eating habits? Will we ask them to do a health test or collect their body mass index? The answers to these questions are going to be really different depending on the type of social venture that you're looking at. And we have social ventures dealing with all kinds of social and environmental problems. So we're going to have infinite measures that are unique to each venture. Also important is the amount of support that we have. So how is a social venture doing in attracting that support or in obtaining the resources necessary to achieve the mission? When we talked about our business model canvas, we did look to see about the kind of resources we had and the resources we needed. For a nonprofit, this could be donations. For a social venture that's for-profit, this could be having to do with finding customers or finding people to finding other businesses to buy products and offer them for sale. The final element of this framework is capacity. And this is really the piece of performance management related to employees. What we are asking here is, do the people providing the organization's value, that is, are the people who are working for the social venture, do they possess sufficient resources and skills? Do they know what they need to do? Do they have the ability to do it? And if not, is it a problem that we can fix in terms of training? Or do we need to find other employees that might be better suited for the job? Once we've answered those questions, we really want to get into our specific social impact measures. I've put three different examples up for you. The first, let's say it's our local animal shelter. Now, how do we know if our local animal shelter is making progress in solving issues related to animal homelessness, animal abuse, and so on? Some of the measures we could use are number of adoptions. We could count the number of spay and neuter surgeries. We could count the number of new donors. Or we could calculate the % increase in donations in a particular year. And these measures are usually over a year or a fiscal year. These are only 4 examples. There are many more, but it gives you an idea about the kind of things we're looking at. They're things that we can quantify, count, observe, and report. Now, our next example is a children's after-school program that's designed to give students better skills in terms of organizing themselves and doing better academically. So how do we know if that organization is making an impact? One way, we could look at this is the number of children served. So how many kids come through the program each year? We're not doing this just to, just so we can say we've served 400 kids. We really want those kids to do better in school, so we could actually try to find out how those kids do academically, and does being a part of our program mean that they perform better in school. We could look at their school attendance, and then we could look at the graduation rate of a particular school to see if our association with the school makes it a better school for kids. Our third example is a local nonprofit theater group. Some of the measures that a theater group would use might be the number of plays performed in a season. We could look at the number of new season ticket subscribers, the number of empty seats. Of course, we want that number to be low. And we might look at the increased advertising income in our programs. And these give you some specific examples of the kind of measures that are important for social ventures. You're going to need to think about these questions in relation to your social venture. So how do you know that the social or environmental problem you want to solve is being addressed by your social venture? We're going to try to answer that question. Give you some time to think about that in this unit.